One could argue that the final 24 hours of Julio Foolio's life were the happiest and most carefree fans have ever seen the rapper. Surrounded by friends, booze, and music for large parts of the day, Foolio had 3 of the main ingredients to make his 26th birthday special, so much so that even an unexpected police interference wasn't going to kill his vibe. However, a seemingly perfect day soon ended in chaos, costing the life of the rapper who for years seemed unkillable. Foolio's last day alive. The sun rose on June 14, 2024, marking the beginning of what would be Foolio's final day. Charles Jones, known to his fans as Foolio, was ready to celebrate his 26th birthday in style. His Instagram stories were buzzing with excitement as he announced an Airbnb pool party, inviting fans to DM him for the address.
Pool party start the day at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address of DM Foolio Booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here.
The anticipation was charged, and Foolio's social media was flooded with birthday wishes, which he acknowledged with a heartfelt appreciation post. As the day turned to evening, the Airbnb began to fill with friends, fans, and fellow partygoers. The atmosphere was vibrant, the music loud, and Foolio was in high spirits, already indulging in drinks.
Me drinking, cuz. I don't even drink, cuz.
The pool party was in full swing, capturing the essence of a perfect summer celebration. However, as the night progressed, the noise levels escalated, drawing the attention of the local authorities. The police arrived, responding to complaints about the disturbance. The party was abruptly halted, and everyone was asked to leave the Airbnb. Foolio, determined to keep the celebration alive, quickly arranged for the party to continue at a nearby Holiday Inn. The guests, undeterred by the change of venue, followed Foolio to the new location, eager to keep the festivities going. As the night continued, Foolio's birthday celebration took an unexpected turn. Ari, a well-known promoter, decided to bring Foolio to her event at Truth 18 in Tampa. This was a last-minute decision, hinted at through her Instagram story with the cryptic message, "Guess who I got to come," accompanied by a demon emoji. The excitement was palpable as Foolio agreed to make an appearance, adding an unplanned twist to his already eventful night. Truth 18 was buzzing with energy. Videos and photos of Foolio at the event began to surface in real time, capturing the rapper in high spirits, mingling with fans and enjoying the night. As the night wore on, Foolio and his entourage decided to head back to the Holiday Inn, where the birthday celebrations were supposed to continue. However, the night took a dark and tragic turn as they arrived at the hotel. In the early hours of Sunday morning, June 24th, 2024, the unthinkable happened. At approximately 4:40 a.m., Foolio was ambushed in the parking lot of the Holiday Inn. He was inside a vehicle when the attack occurred, and another vehicle nearby was also struck by bullets. The sudden and violent nature of the ambush left everyone in shock. Emergency services were quickly called to the scene. Despite their efforts, Foolio was pronounced dead shortly after their arrival. The news of his death spread rapidly, leaving fans and the music community in disbelief. The celebration that had started with so much promise had ended in unimaginable tragedy. 3 other individuals were also injured in the shooting and were taken to the hospital. Reports indicate that they are in stable condition, but the trauma of the event has undoubtedly left a lasting impact. The Tampa Police Department, along with the FBI, ATF, and Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, launched an investigation into the shooting, seeking to uncover the motive and identify those responsible. As the investigation unfolded, it became apparent that the incident might be linked to a long-standing feud between rival groups from Jacksonville. Foolio, who had previously survived multiple attempts on his life, was no stranger to the dangers that came with his career. In April, he announced the release of his latest album, Resurrection, and mentioned the attempts on his life, highlighting the perilous environment he navigated. Meanwhile, after Foolio's death, some fans started raising speculations that the rapper's location might have been given away by 2 people who knew his movements that fateful night. Ari, the promoter who invited Foolio to her party, was accused of backdooring Foolio by revealing his location on social media. Ari, however, has been adamant that she had no involvement in his death. Ari stated that she is receiving death threats and is fearful for her safety. She explained that Foolio came to her event, stayed for a while, and then left. She emphasized that the vibes at the club were positive and that she had no involvement in any negative activity.
At this point, I'm getting death threats. I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting text messages. And I just gotta let y'all know what it is. Like, I had nothing to do with Foolio's death. Me and Foolio was texting. He came to my event. He popped out. He was in a section. He had him a bottle. And then he dipped.
Despite her statements, the internet remains divided. Some believe Ari's innocence, while others are convinced she played a role in Foolio's death. Ari addressed the accusations directly, expressing disbelief that people thought she would intentionally post Foolio's location for malicious reasons. She noted that if she wanted to backdoor him, she could have simply texted the people who wanted to harm him rather than posting it publicly. Ari reiterated that she had only posted what Foolio approved and that the night had gone well without any issues. She asked people to stop spreading false rumors and stressed that she and her team had nothing to do with the tragic incident. Another key figure in the unfolding mystery is Mizzle, who spent the entire day with Julio Foolio, from the Airbnb to the after party. Mizzle was one of Foolio's trusted friends, making his potential involvement all the more shocking. The day started with Mizzle and Foolio hanging out at an Airbnb, enjoying each other's company. They were seen together at various locations, including the after party where Foolio was last seen alive. This close association suggests a deep bond of trust between the two. However, the internet's investigation into Mizzle's background has revealed troubling connections. Mizzle is closely associated with an individual known as Backstreet, a figure with a notorious reputation and a history of conflicts with Foolio. Mizzle and Backstreet's bond is so strong that they often wear matching outfits, a sign of their deep friendship. This connection is problematic because Backstreet and Foolio had well-known issues. Backstreet had previously threatened Foolio on Clubhouse, stating that when he killed one of Foolio's friends, he expected Foolio to post about it on Instagram. This history of animosity raises questions about Mizzle's loyalty and intentions. Furthermore, Backstreet is very close with another rapper, Youngeen Ace, who also had conflicts with Foolio. The fact that Mizzle is friends with both Backstreet and people close to Youngeen Ace only deepens the suspicion surrounding him. After the news of Foolio's death broke, Backstreet posted "Beautiful Day" on his Instagram story, followed by a new video from Youngeen Ace that seemingly took shots at Foolio. This has led to widespread speculation that Mizzle might have betrayed Foolio by revealing his location. If Mizzle did play a role in this, he would face severe consequences, as the streets don't forgive betrayals. Also, the Holiday Inn shooting wasn't the first time Foolio would be targeted. Foolio had survived multiple attempts on his life. Foolio's rise to fame in the Jacksonville's rap scene was meteoric, but it came with a heavy price. His affiliation with the KTA gang put him in direct conflict with rival group ATK, led by rapper Youngeen Ace. This rivalry wasn't just about music. It was a deadly feud that spilled over into the streets.
I walked through the cut, I'll say probably like 5-10 minutes later, somebody pop out the cut, go to shoot, and boom, boom, boom. I got hit on my hip, and my hip popped out of place, and I was just crawling, looking back, looking at him still shooting. You know what I'm saying?
The tension between KTA and ATK escalated, leading to a series of violent confrontations. Foolio's life was constantly under threat, and the first major attempt on his life occurred in July 2020. While in Houston, Texas, Foolio was ambushed and shot. The incident left him hospitalized, but even from his hospital bed, he went live on Instagram, defiantly declaring,
"Shot me, but they didn't kill me. I'm Kendrick. This stupid."
This brazen act of survival only intensified the rivalry. Weeks later, the attempt on Foolio's life was mentioned in the viral music video "Who I Smoke" by Fast Money Goon, a member of ATK. The lyrics chillingly recounted the Houston shooting, mocking Foolio for surviving. The violence didn't stop there. On November 8th, 2021, Foolio faced another life-threatening situation. As he stepped out of his vehicle in the 2000 block of Ernest Street in Riverside, unknown assailants opened fire, spraying bullets in his direction. Foolio reported multiple shots coming from a dark-colored truck, or SUV. In a remarkable display of composure, he grabbed his two guns and returned fire, leaving behind 20 spent casings and a possible AR-15 on the street. Miraculously, he was only grazed in the leg. Taking to Instagram once again, Foolio showed off his minor wounds and declared, "I shot back in self-defense. My gun is registered. If I did something illegal, the police would put me in jail." His defiance and resilience were on full display as he mocked his assailants for missing despite firing around 100 shots. The aftermath of the most recent attempt on Foolio's life was a whirlwind of police investigations, social media reactions, and heightened tensions in the Jacksonville rap scene. Officers arriving at the scene found a white t-shirt, 20 spent casings, and a possible AR-15 with rounds in the magazine. Despite the chaos, no arrests were made. Taking to his Instagram story, Foolio claimed the assailants fired around 100 shots his way, but missed. These Not no shooters, he said, revealing the unloaded gun he used to defend himself.
Whole clip on my daddy, stop playing with me, nigga. And I didn't get hit, I got grazed in the leg, stop playing.
In a follow-up post, he wrote, "On trade, I got right in. Slides emptied my whole clip with boys goofies. I'm not dead, so stop faking for the internet." He added, "Y'all missed a whole 100 shots, literally. That was voodoo. That was magic." Foolio's defiant response not only showcased his resilience, but also highlighted the ongoing dangers he faces. Meanwhile, after the incident, Foolio spoke out his practice of voodoo and how it protects him. Foolio's journey into the world of voodoo started with a visit to a voodoo practitioner, often referred to as a voodoo lady. This encounter was not just about a change in appearance, but marked the beginning of his deep dive into a world filled with rituals and mysticism. Voodoo holds a significant presence in certain parts of Florida, a state known for its cultural diversity and rich history. The practice of voodoo in Florida is deeply rooted in the traditions brought over by African slaves and has evolved over centuries, blending with indigenous and European beliefs. As Foolio ventured deeper into the world of voodoo, he encountered a variety of rituals, each more intense and mysterious than the last. These rituals, often shrouded in secrecy, reveal the depth and complexity of voodoo practices.
It be like, you gotta go sleep in an open casket for like 5-6 days.
One of the most shocking rituals Foolio described involves sleeping in an open casket for several days. This practice, while extreme, is believed to bring about profound spiritual transformation and protection. The symbolism of the open casket is powerful. It represents a form of rebirth, a way to shed old energies and invite new protective forces into one's life. This ritual is not for the faint-hearted and requires immense faith and courage. Foolio's experiences are a stark reflection of the larger issues at play in Jacksonville. The city's rap scene is deeply intertwined with gang violence, and the rivalry between KTA and ATK has turned deadly on multiple occasions. Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams has labeled both groups as dangerous gangs, and the violence shows no signs of lessening. Unsurprisingly, in 2023, Foolio was shot again. Early Saturday morning on October 7th, 2023, the rapper was ambushed and shot in the foot while driving his black Dodge Challenger. The car, riddled with bullet holes, stands as a stark testament to the violent ambush he faced. This attack, like many before it, underscores the perilous path Foolio walks as he navigates the treacherous waters of fame and street life. Despite the severity of his injury, Foolio managed to call for help. Emergency responders arrived swiftly, transporting him to UF Health Jacksonville. As news of the shooting spread, the Jacksonville community was left in shock. Foolio's fans and family members were quick to express their concern and support. One of his parents took to Instagram, posting a heartfelt plea for prayers. The post read, "Keep Foolio, my son, in y'all prayers. He was shot last night in his hating city." This emotional appeal highlighted the personal toll that such violence takes on those close to Foolio. Sadly, after countless close calls with death which Foolio managed to survive, the deadly ambush on his birthday ended up costing him his life. The aftermath of Foolio's death. As the hip-hop world mourned the loss of a promising young talent, Foolio's mother, Sandricas Mays, took to Instagram to release a heartfelt and revealing statement. Sandricas, who goes by Sandricas1 on Instagram, shared her grief and frustration with the cycle of violence that had claimed her son's life. In her emotional post, Sandricas wrote, "R.I.P. son, Charles Jones II, Foolio, the real life story documentary coming soon. The story that only I can tell because I know the truths from the fakes. I think I'm the only mother that keeps it real, while most others know damn well what was going on with their own sons. This has been going on since 2014 to 2015. Sandricas' statement continued, highlighting the hypocrisy of those who celebrated Foolio's death while having supported him in the past. She expressed her frustration with the parents who turned a blind eye to the violence in the drill music scene, despite knowing the dangers it posed. Some of these same women celebrating your death are some of the same women who looked up to me sitting in my building. I was their teacher, and they were my students at a big grown age taking notes. Not let's forget that. The same women that were buying your CDs for their kids. Let's not forget that. These same women's sons did the same thing you did. Went tit for tat on this drill music, which I never condone." Foolio's mother also revealed that she had constantly urged her son to change his lifestyle, but her pleas were in vain. She recounted a harrowing incident where she was shot 8 times, yet chose to spare the lives of those responsible, despite the lasting impact on her own life. MFs ask where his mom. It starts from home. Them not knowing I stayed on you about this beef chit, cussed you out, begged you to take stuff down, and when I was shot 8 times, I spared their lives even though mine was changed. In the midst of this tragedy, Foolio's mother, Sandricas Mays, has announced the release of an upcoming documentary titled The Real Life Story. This documentary promises to reveal the untold truths about Foolio's life and death, offering an intimate look at the man behind the music. Sandricas has shared that the documentary will feature never-before-seen footage, interviews with family and friends, and exclusive content that will shed light on Foolio's journey and struggles. She hopes that by sharing his story, others will be inspired to make better choices and break the cycle of violence violence that has claimed so many young lives. The untold truth. Only I can tell coming soon. So much unreleased coming soon. I want people to know the real Charles Jones II, not just Foolio. He was a son, a brother, and a friend. He had dreams and aspirations beyond the music. This documentary will show the world who he really was. However, no one was more devastated than Foolio's girlfriend, Monty B, known on social media as Monty Love, had been by Foolio's side through thick and thin. Their relationship was well documented, with the couple often sharing glimpses of their life together on social media. The bond they shared was evident to anyone who followed them, making the news of Foolio's death all the more heartbreaking. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, Monty B took to social media to express her grief. Her posts were raw and unfiltered, capturing the depth of her sorrow and the shock of losing her beloved Foolio. In one of her first posts on X, formerly known as Twitter, Monty B wrote, "This so unreal, I just woke up and smiled and tried to wrap my arm around my boyfriend and realized his not even alive or next to me." The post quickly went viral, resonating with many who had experienced similar losses. The day before, Monty B had posted another emotional message saying, "Y'all took my boyfriend from me. I hate y'all and I won't be the only one crying." These words reflected not only her personal grief, but also her anger and frustration at the senseless violence that claimed Foolio's life. The raw emotion in her post struck a chord with many, highlighting the deep bond she shared with Foolio and the profound impact of his loss. Despite the controversies and the public spectacle, Foolio's loved ones managed to organize a private funeral ceremony in Jacksonville. This intimate gathering was a stark contrast to the chaos that had unfolded in the weeks following his death. According to photos from the ceremony, was attended by close family and friends who came together to pay their final respects to the rapper. Foolio's body was placed in a custom casket adorned with murals of him, a fitting tribute to his larger-than-life persona. The casket was transported to the cemetery via a horse and carriage, adding a touch of elegance and tradition to the somber occasion. In one poignant moment, close friends were seen preparing to release doves, symbolizing peace and farewell. The feud that led to Foolio's death. To understand the deadly feud between ATK and KTA, we must first delve into their origins. Jacksonville, Florida has always been a hotbed for emerging rap talent. The roots of rap music lie in lyrical battles, where artists spar with words to outdo their rivals. But in Jacksonville, these battles have taken a dark turn. At the heart of this conflict are two prominent rappers, Youngeen Ace, the face of ATK, and Julio Foolio, the star of KTA. Their rivalry began as a typical rap beef, with each artist trying to outshine the other through their music. However, the feud quickly escalated beyond the realm of lyrics. The rivalry took a deadly turn in May 2017 with the murder of 19-year-old Zion Brown, Julio Foolio's cousin. This tragic event marked the beginning of a series of violent retaliations that would claim multiple lives and leave a trail of devastation in its wake. The conflict between ATK and KTA escalated rapidly, with key events marking the deadly trajectory of this feud. The murder of Zion Brown in May 2017 was just the beginning. Arrested for the shooting was 19-year-old DeAndre Thomas, a name that would soon become infamous in this saga. Youngeen Ace, whose real name is Kenyatta Bullard, was implicated in an Orange Park robbery 7 months before Zion's murder. Shots were fired into a home, narrowly missing a couple and a 1-year-old child. This robbery set the stage for the violent events that followed. In June 2018, Youngeen Ace was the target of a retaliatory shooting while celebrating his brother's birthday at a town center restaurant. Ace survived after being shot 8 times, but his brother Trayvon Bullard and 2 other teens, Royale Devon Smith Jr. and Jacoby Dashad Groover, were killed. Julio Foolio wasted no time glorifying the killings on social media. He even created a t-shirt with a photo of Royale Devon Smith Jr., also known as 23, that read, "Rest in Piss, 23." These provocative posts only served to inflame the rivalry further. One of the most significant turning points in the rivalry occurred when Foolio and members of Bully Gang and 6 Block visited a Jacksonville cemetery. They were there to film a music video for Jake Jit, a Bully Gang rapper whose real name was Jaquan Pickens. The group posed for photos in front of the burial site of 23. The photos taken at Smith's grave were provocative and disrespectful. Members of Foolio's crew held their shoes up to Smith's grave marker, flipped off the camera, and formed gang signs. These images were posted on social media, igniting a firestorm of retaliation threats from ATK and NAHG members. The visit to the cemetery was a blatant act of provocation, and it set the stage for a new wave of violence. The first major act of retaliation came on May 17th. BG Wabezi, a 16-year-old Bully Gang member whose real name was Adrian McKenzie, was gunned down in Jacksonville's Moncrief Park area. Police were called to the scene after gunfire erupted, and when they arrived, they found 2 boys and 1 adult male all suffering life-threatening injuries. Mackenzie was rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. 4 days later, Mackenzie's family attempted to hold a memorial for him on the same block where he was shot. As people gathered to release balloons in his memory, gunmen returned to the area and opened fire on the crowd. A woman was treated and released at the hospital after being shot in the arm. No arrests were made in either shooting, and the violence continued to escalate. The bloodshed continued on August 16th. Jaquan Pickens, known as Jake Jet, was killed in a car crash on Interstate 95. Police later revealed that Pickens' vehicle had been chased and shot at before crashing into a truck. The day after Pickens' death, another bully gang member, Lou Kobe, was shot in Jacksonville's Brentwood neighborhood. Police arrived at the scene to find Lou Kobe suffering from a gunshot wound to his chest. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but no arrests were made in either incident. Following the killing of B.G. Wybezi, an ATK member named Antonio Tilly Jr., who rapped under the name Tilly, released a snippet of a song on social media mocking the bully gang member. In the song, Tilly boasted about the violence and taunted his rivals. On October 6th, Jacksonville police were called to the 7,400 block of Kylan Drive in response to gunfire. Responding officers arrived to find 2 dead men inside a vehicle. One of the men was identified as Tilly, and the other was an innocent Uber driver named Bryant Grund, who was caught in the crossfire. A few weeks later, 22-year-old Juquan Mills was charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 23-year-old Diamond Michaela Harris was charged with accessory after the fact. It was revealed that Tilly had a $20,000 bounty on his head, and Mills claimed he received $10,000 for the murder because he had to split it with the second shooter. Hours after Tilly's death, Foolio was ambushed and shot while driving his black Dodge Challenger. The car was riddled with bullet holes, but Foolio managed to drive himself to UF Health Jacksonville, where he was treated for a severe injury to his foot. This was the 4th time gunmen had targeted Foolio over the years, and just like the previous attempts, he survived. In an Instagram live video, Foolio attributed his survival to voodoo rituals, claiming that he had a protective spell on him. The violence reached a new peak with the murder of Julian House, known as Rico Osama. On December 12th, Jacksonville police were called to the 6,300 block of San Juan Avenue for reports of multiple people shot. House was found shot to death in a parking lot, having been ambushed outside a recording studio. The shooters, wearing black masks, fled the scene, leaving yet another body in this deadly feud. The bloodshed continued in January 2019 with another mass shooting outside Paradise Gentlemen's Club. Willie Addison, a rapper known as Boss Goon, was killed after performing at the club. Family members of ATK rapper Xu, including his father Abdul Robinson, were injured in the shooting. In January 2019, KTA rapper Charles Quentin McCormick Jr., known as Lil Buck, was killed. A month later, Julio Foolio's little brother, 16-year-old Adrian Dennard Gaynor Jr., also known as Bibby, was gunned down at a Moncrief area apartment complex. Julio Foolio and his girlfriend were both injured in separate shootings, clear attempts on their lives. Hakeem Robinson, aka Chu, celebrated these killings by putting the fallen KTA victims on the cover of his album titled Bibby Out, named after Julio Foolio's little brother. Youngin Ace narrowly escaped death again in March 2019 after another attempt on his life in Waycross, Georgia. A 30-year-old man was killed in that shooting, and 3 men were arrested. In March, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office arrested Xu, charging him with the murders of Bibby and Lil Buck. This arrest came after months of Xu posting videos bragging about the killings and taunting Julio Foolio about smoking Bibby. The escalation of the ATK and KTA rivalry has turned Jacksonville into a war zone, with each side seeking to outdo the other in acts of violence. The feud, fueled by drill rap and social media, shows no signs of stopping, leaving the community in a state of fear and uncertainty. And with Foolio's death, the flames of the feud has only been fanned further. For more content like this, click on the videos showing on your screen now.